I have something to tell you, before anything else is said between us.
That's not how first contact usually starts.
No, but it is how.
The first contact protocols had taken 11 years to develop. 11 years of linguistic analysis, xenobiological preparation, cultural sensitivity frameworks, psychological readiness assessments, and approximately 400 separate committee meetings about the correct angle at which a human being should extend their hand during an introductory greeting with a species whose concept of physical contact remained, as of the morning of the contact event, entirely unknown. I had read all of it. Every document, every briefing, every addendum to every annex. I was Sergeant First Class Cole Maren, assigned to the First Contact Support Unit not because I was not a diplomat, but because I had a particular combination of languages, a calm stress response profile, and, as my commanding officer had once described it, the rare ability to look unsurprised by things that were genuinely surprising. I was about to be tested on that last one. The Vaeli delegation arrived at 0700, emerging from a vessel that had landed in the clearing with less drama than I had expected. A smooth descent, minimal sound, a faint disturbance in the grass that suggested technology so refined it had stopped bothering to announce itself. There were 9 of them. 8 were what our briefings had described as standard Vaeli phenotype. Tall, slender, gray-white skin, large dark eyes, no external ears, a stillness of movement that suggested either perfect calm or something that looked exactly like it. They arranged themselves in a loose formation and waited. The 9th stepped forward. She was different from the others in ways that went beyond the blonde hair and the tactical jacket. The others moved with collective precision. She moved with individual intention. There was a quality to her attention, the way it selected a target and held it, that I recognized from a very different context. She moved like someone who was used to being the most prepared person in any situation she entered. She walked toward the diplomatic team, scanned the line of faces with the efficiency of someone checking items off a list, and then her gaze reached me. Stop. She looked at me for exactly 3 seconds. Counted. Then she turned her head back toward the 8 gray figures standing behind her. And in a language our translators had spent 11 years preparing for, she said something. The translation came through my earpiece 2 seconds later. That one. He is my husband. The silence that followed had a texture to it. I was aware of General Whitmore to my left. I was aware of Dr. Solis, our lead xenolinguist, to my right, making a sound that was not quite a word. I was aware of my own face, which was doing what my commanding officer had always valued about me. Absolutely nothing visible. Please repeat, Dr. Solis said into the comm, for translation verification. The alien woman turned back to face our line. Her pale eyes found mine again with the same direct precision as before. She repeated it. Slower this time, with the specific enunciation of someone who is aware they are being recorded. The translation came through again. Identical. That one. He is my husband. General Whitmore said very quietly. Maren. Sir, I said. Any context you'd like to share? None, sir, I said. This is the first time I have seen this individual. Noted, he said, in the tone of a man who was adding this to a very long list. Her name was Commander Vael Sarah of the Vaeli Exploration Accord. This was established in the formal introductions that followed, during which she shook hands with General Whitmore with precisely the correct pressure and angle that 11 years of protocol development had specified, and then turned and extended her hand to me specifically, which was not in any protocol document I had ever read. I shook it. Her grip was cool and extremely deliberate. She held the contact for approximately 1 second longer than the recommended duration, while looking at me with an expression that was not unfriendly but was also not what I would describe as casual. You have questions, she said. Her standard was perfect. Not accented. Perfect, in the way that suggested it had been learned from recordings rather than speakers. Several, I said. I will answer them, she said. But not here. The answer came 3 hours later, in the formal briefing tent, with Dr. Solis present as linguistic monitor, and a recording system that would later be reviewed by approximately 40 separate government departments. The Vaeli, Vael Sarah explained, did not select partners through any process that resembled human courtship. They selected through what she described as recognition, a moment of specific cognitive resonance that occurred when a Vaeli individual encountered a person whose particular combination of qualities matched a pattern that was, as she put it, already present. Present where? Dr. Solis asked. In us, Vael Sarah said simply. We carry the pattern before we find the person. The finding is confirmation, not creation. And you believe, Dr. Solis said carefully, that Sergeant Maren is your confirmation. I do not believe it, Vael Sarah said. I recognized it. The distinction is significant. Dr. Solis made several notes. I sat across the table from Vael Sarah and thought about the 11 years of protocols that had not included a section on this. What happens now? Yes. According to your customs. Now, she said, you choose. I looked at her. It's not automatic. For your people. Recognition is not compulsion, she said. I know what I know. What you do with that knowledge is yours to decide. He paused. This is why I said it publicly, so that the choice would be clear and unambiguous. Not a private pressure but an open one, which you may decline openly and without consequence. I considered this for a moment. That's, I said, actually very thoughtful. Something moved in her expression. Not surprise. Something that had been waiting to be confirmed. I am generally thoughtful, she said. You will find that out if you choose to. The formal contact sessions ran for 4 days. Vael Sarah attended all of them. So did I, because my reassignment to the liaison team had been processed with what General Whitmore described as unprecedented administrative speed. On the last evening, she found me at the edge of the clearing where the Vaeli vessel sat in the grass, watching the light change. The delegation returns tomorrow, she said. I know, I said. I will return in 40 days, she said. For the second session.